I'm Ian Murray and I'm the Managing Director of Plexus Innovation.
My name's Steve Todd, I'm Technical Director.
Plexus Innovation are an IoT tech solutions provider. Very specifically, we are on a mission to try and replace, wherever possible, traditional, infrequent manual measurement technology with real-time, remote, digital alternative. The main benefit out of doing things like this is that we're able then to drive real insight-driven business improvement solutions. Essentially, in summary, we use the technology to reduce your risk, to reduce your operational costs, to reduce your environmental footprint, and to make your job easier. And I'd like to think that that's why most of our clients want to work with us.
We specialise in systems where we can add extra value, or we can help reduce cost, or we can help reduce risk. And until recently, a lot of the technologies that were available and equipment just made that price prohibitive. And it's only been in the last sort of few years that it's got to the point now where there's a lot of, should we say, low-hanging fruit in the industrial and commercial sectors, where people could see the value if they had the information, but they couldn't get it at the price point that they needed. And that's where we've really focused our business. We don't go out and try to solve problems and talk to customers. We talk to customers and help solve their problems with our technology. We're quite unique in the marketplace because we build the whole platform end to end. So we design the hardware, the electronics, we design the firmware that runs them, we design the middleware, the database and the analysis, and we also do the front end. One of the problems we've always had in the past as users of the technology ourselves is you've got to have the right software on your laptop, the right cable, configuration, training was always complex. So right from the beginning, we've took a view to try to make this thing as plug and play as possible.
The most successful initially have been social housing and care home providers. In terms of functionality, the initial targeted function is very much based on temperature. So anything that can be derived from measuring the temperature of it, that's kind of where we are at the moment. And most people won't realise, but there are so many business improvements that can be derived simply by having a detailed understanding of temperature of things and with temperature-related events. We can advise on efficient usage, potential energy reduction. We've identified assets that are failing before they fail. The other alternative, remember, is that you would have to wait for the asset to break. The net result of that is that you lose the capability to generate hot water or to heat the premises, with all the inconvenience, discomfort to residents. Plus you're calling out emergency services to come and rectify your problem at enhanced costs. In terms of enhanced compliance, what we've been able to do is track very specifically user profiles. So we've had examples whereby residents have demonstrated very regular, frequent, compliant usage of their water system within their flats, and then all of a sudden, absolutely nothing. Their utilisation goes to zero for a period of time. What we've enabled to happen is for a compliance manager to then talk to a welfare officer or a neighbourhoods manager, and they've been able to take that early intervention. And in many cases, the answer has actually been, that resident unfortunately is now in hospital. They can then get their teams all in play to look at how they're going to manage the situation.
There's a few reasons why your restaurant can't serve food, and one is hot water. If they haven't got any hot water, you've got to shut the restaurant. And what they do is they have 3 immersion heaters on, just like your kettle. They'll have a big hot water tank with electric immersion heaters in. 1 will go, nobody knows. 2 goes, nobody knows, because they don't really use that much water. They're not running a bath, so it very rarely drops out. The 3rd one goes, it's an emergency, get the plumber out. He hasn't got the right immersion with him, goes away. All along, the restaurant might be shut for lunch or even the evening if there's a big problem, and it's serious money, for losses just for something like that. So we had equipment that would monitor these immersion heaters, and it would monitor each coil on them. And the first one we went to put the kit on to, one was gone already. Nobody knew. They wanted us to monitor the fridge and the freezer, the walk-in fridge freezer. And what we picked up was the staff in the busiest hours were just leaving the doors chocked open, so they could just walk in and out of the fridge. But what happens, all the condensation freezes on the coils, the fridge then not working very hard, and it's struggling, and and the temperature's going up in the freezer, and there's just so many things that are happening that you can pick up with simple sensors.
We can detect leaks. We detect taps left running, which waste huge amounts of water and energy because quite often they're associated with hot taps, particularly through the COVID lockdown period, where communal areas have not been used. Clients have implemented manual flushing regimes, and what we've been able to provide to the compliance teams have been a full track and trace on all those flushing regimes being done, and are they being done correctly? If they're not, then again, early intervention can.
And we often work with the client to work out, what is of value to them and what do they need to know. And it's a bit of a two-way street, because we come up with ideas that we think this would be value, and they also add into what we do. So we've got basically, we have reports which are more about compliance reports, and they'll be scheduled and they'll be archived, and that actually gets them the compliance that they need. And then there's alerts, so they can set alerts up if something during the reporting period happens, they can then take an action and rectify that action.
Well, I think the overarching answer to that question is that it enables us to accelerate the growth of the business. Key aspects of that are that we have already been successful in recruiting a very high quality sales manager. We have made very, very good progress in developing a robust marketing and media strategy and campaign. And finally, we will be able to accelerate the technology development roadmap, get things to market quicker, which will in turn accelerate sales and continue the growth of the business.